in studio with my rabble-rousing political panel, Andrew McLeod, Sheila Orr, David Coverley, Alan Warnke. Moving on to issue 2. CKNW host Christy Clark has announced what we all expected, that she is actually thinking about running for the leadership of the provincial Liberals and maybe doing more than that. Clark, a former cabinet minister during the first Campbell administration, has been on the airways for the past 3 years after making an unsuccessful bid to be the Nonpartisan Association's mayoral candidate over in Vancouver in 2005. Question: Clark says she'll take the next week to decide whether she'll actually step up to the starting gate. What do you think of this development? I go to you first, David.
Well, I think if she steps in, she's going to be a formidable candidate, both because she has tremendous name and face recognition around the province already. She's a really well-known figure, and of course in Vancouver is very, very prominent. She has experience, so she's not an outsider trying to come into government without any kind of record. Mm-hmm. And she's a very strong woman. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how she plays with the interests within the BC Liberal Party. I think that's probably
that could be potentially toxic and lethal for her.
A more important question. But the other thing, of course, she's a woman. And I think for any politician today, being a woman is a cachet, or potentially a cachet.
Yes.
In part because the universe of female voters tends to flow more towards women who are well perceived. And simply because it's a contrast to the little male den that they've got going over there in the
We shouldn't forget Moira Stillwell. She is in the race.
She is, after all, a doctor.
And a doctor.
But the biggest problem that I think Christy Clark has potentially to deal with is that she is, as I remember her from the 90s, and again as a cabinet minister, she can be excessively partisan. Yeah. She is a divisive figure. When she was the Minister of Education, she liked to keep the hen house rattled. And she was one who loved to engage in locking horns with the BCTF and just that whole thing. Mm-hmm. That was very, I think she was on the same page as Gordon Campbell, because frankly, he's always liked doing that as well. I think she is going to have some challenges. That wouldn't necessarily affect her ability to win the leadership.
Yes.
But it will affect, I think, her ability to be premier. She would have to find another persona, in my view, to not start re-embodying Gordon Campbell.
Well, I mean, Christy's fiery, and I mean, obviously, I know her quite very well. And but the thing is that she has matured. I mean, you know, she's got older and she's matured, and she has changed. I think that I think what David said is right. If she jumps into the race, it could really change the whole dynamics of the race. But the issue is this for Christy, which I always think it's such a shame that we have to say this. But as a woman, she's a single parent, and she has to seriously consider, you know, her income and all of those things. And it's sad that I'm saying that on about Christy, and I'm not saying it about the male, her male counterparts. That kind of bothers me. I wish that she could just jump in like the males in the campaign and not have that worry. But she has that worry. Mm-hmm. She has to keep her job. You know, she has to know that she has something if she doesn't win. So she's gone away and she's going to sit and think about this. And she's actually very good at that. She's done that before, where she goes and really kind of ponders. So when she comes back, she'll have made up her mind. And I think that it will change the race because Christy's popular. Mm-hmm. She has that way with people, and you're right. You know, women like her. I'm not quite sure what sort of leader she would make. I'm saying that she has maturity. She knows how to put people around her that know their job, and she doesn't get in their way. But still, I'm obviously we're going to sit back and wait and see what she does. That's going to change the dynamics, I believe, of this entire race.
Alan.